there, viewers, and welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. So I got this 2006 Buick Lucerne here. It's got the 3.8 liter in it. I just came in for just some normal routine work, and I took it on a test drive, and I noticed something a little bit concerning that the customer didn't make any mention of, and that was a really harsh clunk sound when you took off with the vehicle. When you very first took off, like from a dead stop or from a stop sign, or even if you're going down the road and you're at steady cruise and you accelerated, you'd get a very distinct, noticeable thunk coming from the engine compartment. It's a pretty common sound for this type of problem. I believe the engine has a bad engine mount, or a bad motor mount, as some people would call them. This particular car has 3 different engine mounts. It's got one on the front of the engine, one on the rear, and also has one on the tranny. It's a pretty common configuration. It sounds pretty harsh. It sounds like the engine's coming up and hitting the hood almost. So we're going to take a peek at that. If that's the case, I'm going to show you how to replace it. So we're going to check out this front engine mount first. This is one I suspect it's bad. I see a little bit of a tear on it. We're just going to go ahead and start it up. We're going to put it in drive, and then we're going to torque the engine a little bit, because the engine should rotate in this direction, and that's the one I suspect is bad. That one takes quite a beating on these vehicles. Go ahead and start it up. Put it in drive, hold your foot on the brake. You see a little bit of movement there. All right, go ahead and give it some throttle there. Oh yeah. Okay, just hold right steady on the gas. A little more, a little more, a little more. Oh yeah, okay, you can let off it. Oh yeah, so we can see that one. We're gonna go underneath and look at the other one. All right, so here's that same mount from underneath. We're gonna go ahead and do the same thing here, just so you can kind of see it under here. Okay, you got it in drive? Okay, go ahead and torque the throttle a little. Okay, that's good. So you can see how much that one moves. Now this here is the engine mount towards the rear of the engine. You can see the oil filter, axle shaft. So this one here is backed by the right output of the transmission. Go ahead and put it in reverse, Josh. So this one we're going to torque the engine the other way. Okay, go ahead and give it some throttle. Okay, that's good. You can put it in park and shut it off. So we can see that one there is still attached. The rubber, does stretch slightly, which is normal, because these are going to, cushion the vibration. So you are going to have some movement, but this one doesn't have that harsh, clunk where it comes right up out, where the rubber's completely tore away. All right, so I spoke to the customer. We got the okay to do this. I've got the new engine mount on its way. It's pretty obvious to see what the problem was here, and it was pretty obvious driving the car. It's quite a harsh clunk. Of course, we were putting in it, under a much more severe load while you're actually driving it, and it's much more pronounced. Like I said, it really sounded like the thing was about to come through the hood of the car. So we're going to go ahead and get that fixed up for him. So these aren't too awful to change. Before we pick it up in the air, we're going to get this nut off the top of it, so we don't have to fiddle with that, because we're going to have to support the engine, and then we have to pull this engine bracket off, and then take the mount out. So while it's down here on the ground, we're going to take and pull that nut off. It looks to be an 18 millimeter. So reach down here with a swivel socket. Get it on there, okay? Yep. Holy crap, this guy. Need to get a little more lead in my pencil here. Yeah, baby. Get a little snug. Take and pop the nut off the bottom here. Looks like a 21. Whoa, wrong way. All right, we got that. Now there is this engine bracket here we're gonna have to take off. There's one bolt on the top of it right by the knock sensor. A little snug to get to, not too bad. And then just the 2 on the bottom here, but before you do that, we have to support the oil pan. I'll go get a tripod and a block of wood there. That way the engine doesn't do something silly on us. Let's see, where did we leave off, folks? I had to go out to the Mack truck for a minute. Get some drill bits warranted here. Got us a tripod. That whole forcing screw is turning. Anyhow, we're gonna put just a little tension on it. See that mount's banging around in there loose now. We'll pull the bracket off the front of the engine here. Well, they weren't very tight. That one wasn't. So grab these two down here. The one up top, I don't know if I can show you. It's right next to the dipstick tube. You'll see the knock sensor up there. And looks like it's an 18 millimeter also. We'll see if we can get up in there and just buzz that out. Get this bracket out of the way. Got my bent ratchet. I think it'll reach up and around there. Hopefully. Give it the classic reach around move. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah, there we go. It's that way. Can get your hand shoved up in there. I'll show you that hole once I get it out. There we go. So just another bolt. And then might have to raise the engine up just a little bit more here. Let's see, we did take the nut off the top of that, right? Seems to be kind of stuck a little bit in the engine mount there. I think there's a locator pin on it. Yep. Let me get a screwdriver. Let's see if we can get it up off that pin. There we go. The engine up just about as high as we can take it safely. So there's your mount. That's that bolt that was up in the top. So obviously you got your two bolts here, that single bolt in the top. And what was holding us up on the bottom is we've got the stud that goes through from the mount, but this little guide pin there was hung up slightly. Now we should be able to lift that mount right out. And then you can see the guide pin that was on there that I was talking about. We can also see this engine mount is broke right open. So, good diagnosis anyways. Got the new mount over right here. We'll just slip that little guy right in. And that also, like I mentioned, has a guide pin on it. And we can take, hopefully, get this back up on there. Up. Come on, little fella. Ooh, there she goes. And there we go. Just pretty much got to reverse the process now. We'll get our bracket back mounted solid. We'll get the weight of the engine sitting back down on that mount. Snug things up. Overall, pretty easy job, really. I don't use this ratchet that often, but when I do, it's pretty handy. We're going to go ahead and we're going to let the weight right back down on this thing. So if you're doing this on the ground, you just have to use floor jack is all. Just put a block of wood there on the oil pan, and then just use the floor jack. Whoa, 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 Mrs. O, we're doing a video. Go on. Proceed.
Do you think the people need to know?
Huh?
Do you think the people need to know?
The people need to know.
Does it matter which submodel or engine I choose for the brakes on that van?
Typically not, but sometimes.
Well,
50% of the time, every time.
all of the submodels have the same 3.6 liter.
That's probably a 3.6 in that van, yeah.
There's no other option no matter what submodel it is. And then it's
So you answered your own question.
3.6 liter or a flex
the VIN off of it. Just run the VIN.
It's up in the air.
Run it down. Let's go up, let's go down. Let's go. Come on. Get the nuts back on there. Set the torque to spec here. We'll get the nut back on the top. They're lock nuts, so they turn a little stiff there at the very last bit. See if we can reach back down here. Extension. Get that torque to specs. There we go. And we're done. Alright guys, that's it. That's engine mount diagnosis and replacement here on this 06 Buick Lucerne. So you can use some of the methods that we use here to check your own engine mounts. Have somebody help you put the car in drive, torque the throttle a little bit, see how much movement you have, see if you have any separation. This one was pretty extreme here, where it was completely, ripped away. Not only on that side, but on that side too. So she was pretty well hammered. So it was pretty easy to tell, particularly when driving it. But most cars are the same. The bad engine mounts, they can cause various types of concern. Whether it was like this car where I was just having a harsh clunking on acceleration. I've seen them before too, where the mounts go bad and they'll start to sink down, and you'll get some driveline vibration. So be mindful of that. Depending on the style of the engine mount, it may not clunk, but it could cause the engine to sit in there cockeyed, binding up the CV shafts, four-wheel drive style system. So anyhow, hope you guys found this video useful. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. What else? That's it. Google+, Facebook. Check us out there. Leave your comments in the comment box below. And as always, viewers, remember, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.